Hey there, in this video, I'm gonna share with you 12 ideas of things that you can send to your email marketing list. Now, before we even get into this list, let me remind you, or let me tell you for the first time if you've never heard it before, an email list is arguably the most valuable thing that you can have as an online business owner, especially if you're someone who's trying to grow on social media. And without making this a full rant, because you're here for ideas, so hopefully you already know the value of an email list. You don't own your social media followers. If the algorithms change, if the app shut down, if your account gets hacked, you lose access to every single person who's decided to follow you. And if your only way to get your customers' attention is because they follow you on social media, then that's a really, really risky thing to do. Now, one last thing before we get into this list, I want to encourage you to sign up for my email list. There should be a link somewhere up here, or it's also down in the description of this YouTube video, and it's emailbrock.com. If you go to emailbrock.com, you can sign up for my newsletter. Speaking of newsletters, idea number one of something that you can regularly send to your email list is newsletters. In these newsletters, it can be news about you as the creator or the entrepreneur. It can be news related to your industry. It could be news that's important for your audience to hear, but just general weekly updates. Idea number two, breaking news. Now, this might not necessarily apply to every industry, but most industries have some sort of breaking news, whether it's news on celebrities in the industry, news on changes within the industry, or just headlines that relate to what's going on in your industry or niche. If you are someone who breaks that news or explains that news to your email list subscribers, that can be a very valuable way to contact them. Idea number three, again, similar to number one and number two, but it's breaking down popular events. You could also break down popular events through the guise of your industry. For example, let's think about the World Cup. While the World Cup might not necessarily directly relate to social media growth, I could talk about the World Cup and maybe analyze the way different countries are approaching it from a social media perspective. I could send out an email breaking down the different Instagram strategies used by some of the world's biggest soccer stars. And yes, I'm from the US, so I call it soccer. Breaking down popular events is a great way to stay relevant and provide valuable information for your email list. Idea number four, put together compilations of your own best content. My mom used to send out a weekly email to her email list, which was called her snapshot. And basically the snapshot picked out her best piece of content from the week, whether it was a podcast, a YouTube video, an Instagram reel, an Instagram story, or anything else, and it highlighted it in a YouTube video. And the benefit of this is that, of course, not all of your email list subscribers are going to follow you on every single social media channel, and all of your followers aren't going to see all of your best content. But because this snapshot was her best content, it was something that had already proven that it would be interesting to people who are interested in her. And so because it performed well as social media content, it was likely going to perform well as email content as well. Idea number five is an explanation of your content. Some of us are in the educational industry, or we're educational entrepreneurs where we share tips and advice, and oftentimes our posts just don't do it justice. Sometimes we can only fit so much information in our YouTube videos or in our Instagram captions, so you might want to explain a little bit more in an email. This would also be a great opportunity to promote your email list. You could say, hey, here are the top 5 tips for strengthening your pelvic floor, but tips number 4 and 5 are actually saved for my email list, and they'll be sent out in an email broadcast on Friday. And then you could encourage people to sign up for your email list to get those 2 bonus tips. Speaking of tips, idea number 6 is tips, education, and just general advice. Now, of course, again, this might not be the perfect fit for every industry, but if you're someone who's an info entrepreneur or you share education, then of course, continuing to share those tips and advice via email is a great way to serve your audience. Idea number 7 is sales and promotions, and I want to make sure that that distinction is clear. So far, these first 6 ideas could be used to lead into some sort of sale or promotion. They could be used to direct people to a link, but that's not necessary. I think that oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we overwhelm ourselves trying to constantly sell and promote things. And especially within email marketing, there's this idea that every email has to sell, or it has to send people to some sort of link or landing page. And I just don't believe that's true. I've seen much better open rates and much better click-through rates by consistently serving my audience, consistently educating them, consistently giving them free tips and free advice, and then occasionally selling. That way they have my trust, they look to me as an expert, and they flat out open my emails because they don't have to worry about being sold to every dang time. But idea number 7 is probably the most regularly practiced form of email marketing, which is using email marketing to do exactly that, to market, to sell, or to promote something. My bonus tip for you here is to remember that you don't always have to sell something that you directly are benefiting from. Sometimes you should probably promote products that you don't necessarily get any kickback from. You're not even an affiliate for. You're just promoting a product because you think it would be beneficial for your audience. Speaking of affiliates, sometimes you should promote products that you're an affiliate for. So it's not something that you've directly created, but when people click on the link in your email, then you're gonna get credit for that. Idea number 8 is ideas related to your niche. Now, maybe this is workout ideas. Maybe this is ideas for email marketing like this video. Maybe this is trending sounds on Instagram. Maybe this is ideas on how to tidy up your kitchen after the holidays. People love free ideas. I'm all for teaching a man to fish, but I also know a lot of people just want to be handed a fish. Idea number 9 is a strategy that I use all the time, and it's quick and simple greetings or reminders. Oftentimes, I send people one-sentence emails that just say, hey, I hope you have a great weekend. Or, hey, I know that growing on social media can be tough, but I want you to know that I'm proud of you. And it's amazing to see how many people will respond to those emails, not just open them, but respond to them and say, thank you so much for this, Brock. This really means a lot. I'm going through a tough time right now. So use your email marketing to not just market, not just teach and promote and share tips and advice and ideas, but also use your email marketing to treat people like real human beings. Reach out and just tell them that you appreciate them, that you're thankful for them, or that you're thinking of them, and you'd be surprised the difference that this will make in your bottom line. Idea number 10 is templates and examples. Again, people love free stuff. People love being able to just plug in things really fast and move right along with their day without having to do the work of coming up with ideas themselves. So if you can provide people with pre-made templates or examples related to your niche or industry, that can be really valuable. Idea number 11 is testimonials. And of course, testimonials are a great way to promote and sell things, but testimonials are also just a great way to tell stories and to allow your audience to start to learn more about your product or offer without necessarily directly having to buy or without having to hear about it from you, the creator of the product. Idea number 12 is to use your email marketing kind of like a blog, talking about your own life, telling your own stories, sharing your own lessons that you've learned throughout whatever it is that you do for a living or whatever it is that people are subscribing to your email list for. But storytelling can be a great way to get people to actually read through your emails. An attention-grabbing subject line and a powerful opening sentence can hook readers in so that the next thing you know, they're reading through your entire email as if it was a novel or an article that they were super excited to read. Give one of these ideas a try on your next email broadcast and let me know down in the comments if there's any ideas that you have that I didn't mention in this video. Thanks so much for watching.